Hello, everybody. Everybody, this is my name is Sammy, and this is Lucille. Say hello, Lucille.
Hello.
Hey, everyone. We're going to be hosting this for a very short while. So, today we're going to be running all Wizard Cards Glitchless percents. I'm going to be narrating this run because although I'm not very experienced with the category, I'm possibly the only person in the whole community who knows anything about these cards. Now we're going to have I'm just going to remind you fellas, we're doing this for a very good cause. This year for Potterthon, which is a yearly speedrunning event, we're raising money for the Trevor Project, a non-profit organisation.
I'll restart.
Hey, get yourself ready, love. Don't worry. Trevor Project, a non-profit organisation focused on suicide prevention efforts among the LGBTQ plus youth. It operates the Trevor Lifeline, a toll-free hotline. And this time, it's their turn for Potterthon to support them. Well, it's our turn to support it for Potterthon. Now, Lucille, we've got a bit of technical difficulties, but Lucille will still surely get the run ready as soon as possible.
I'm ready to go. We'll do a countdown.
You want to run?
So
I want to show us what I want to see what I'm looking at. I want to see what I'm looking at, Lucille, if you don't mind.
You want that. There you go.
Excellent.
So I'll have a countdown. I don't exactly know the timing. It'll be something like 3, 2, 1. That's the loading screen.
Okay, everybody. Now, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for the PC starts us off in the Whomping Willow area. It's effectively a tutorial section. We retain 3 spells from the first game, a nice little arsenal of Lumos, Alohomora, and Flipendo. So just in this area, we have to go and rescue Ron Weasley from the big mean old Whomping Willow. And something you'll notice about Glitchless is some of the jumps don't seem fair, but it doesn't count as a glitch. Case in point, landing on the branch to hop across to rescue Ron. We're going to flip around. She's going to turn around and cast a Pendo just on that branch, get Ron out of there, and off we go. Over here you'll see we still have our Lumos available. See, Lumos does a nice little secret reveal or a secret platform reveal mechanic in this game. It's our first trick where we cast a Pendo on this big old block, jump as it's still moving to use our momentum to land next to Ron. Momentum does not count as a glitch. Casting Flipendo here, that raises these steps in the cutscene we can skip. We're going to go down this corridor to encounter our first card of the entire game. The first of 101, number 7, Hespistaki, which you studied the use of phases of the moon in potion making. The best card. You may have noticed about number 7 Hespistaki is that she has a bronze pentagonal frame about her. That's because there are 3 different tiers of cards in this game, bronze, silver, and gold. If every time Harry collects 10 of the 50 bronze cards, he gets an additional lightning bolt's worth of stamina. By the end of the game, we'll have a total of 6. Every time Harry collects the 10 of the 40 silver cards, he gets 1 of 4 silver keys necessary to access the Gold Wizard Card Challenge, an optional area of the game where we will find the final 11 gold cards. Although we have this open world Hogwarts to move about and explore, the bulk of this game takes place through linear obstacle courses called challenges. There's a challenge for every time we learn a new spell, and every time there's a major story event. Speaking of new spells, we're going to go to the 3rd floor to learn our first spell of the game, Richter Sempra. We're going to be jumping up these little steps here, not these ones as we go to the grand staircase, because a lot of the steps actually in the engine have invisible ramps up on them. That way the camera doesn't jankily move up with every step we take. You may have, if anybody who's played Harry Potter 1 Restored, you may have noticed this janky effect whenever you're climbing up steps, and that's because they don't have their invisible ramps there, you see. Meanwhile, we're going to smoothly land on those steps to get up to the 3rd floor, skip a cutscene where Harry hears some voices in the wall, take a right to enter our Defense Against the Dark Arts class with Gilderoy Lockhart to learn Richter Sempra. See, spell learning in this game is very different from the first one in that you have to play 3 increasingly difficult minigames of DDR. But because every time we win a spell, we win one of these little minigames, we get house points for Gryffindor. But Lucille is going to fail this completely to earn as few points as possible up until the next house point ceremony. You see, after every spell challenge we do, we have to go to a house point ceremony. Depending on how much of a lead Gryffindor house has to Slytherin, we spend time in a place called the Bean Bonus Room. But there's no cards in there, so to save time, we gain as few points as possible. Very easy, she just has to relax. And I get to relax too as I read a donation from Luigi, who donates $20 to our cause and says frog percents exclamation point. Golly gee, Miss Marie, I wish I knew the context.
I'll probably be picking up some frogs. I think we will have frog percent.
That's too. We may have frog percent just yet, but we may not, as I've told you, as I've explained to the audience, we have, every time Harry collects 10 of the bronze cards, he'll get an extra bar of stamina. By the end, we'll have 6 full bars of stamina. We have a potion mechanic, which gives us a bit of extra health. In this category especially, health is pretty much irrelevant. And here we go another time. You can still totally fail this challenge, but one thing of note in this challenge is we'll be introduced to a number of old enemies also returning from the first game. You'll recognise the fire crab, you'll recognise the giant orange snail, and the gnome also returning in a different form. Instead of taking your health, he only takes your Birdie Bot's beans. We failed the lesson, but we still learned the spell. That's what really matters in the end. That is a fire crab, ladies and gentlemen, and pushing fire crabs into pits is the main mechanic of this game. Now, there are 9 cards in Richter Sempra, which sounds cool at first, but not until you realise 8 of those are members of the popular wizarding band, the Weird Sisters. Just like this one, number 63, Herman Winchington, lute player for the popular wizarding band, the Weird Sisters, the best card. Into this big old room where we're introduced to the giant orange snail, Lucille's going to try and push these 4 fire crabs into the little trenches also. Mainly, we only have to push these giant orange snails into their pits, but when you push the 4 fire crabs in, you'll lower a secret chest that has the only non-Weird Sister card of this entire challenge. Here we go, here's the last one into his little hole there. And there goes our chest, opening it up to find number 23, Glenda Chittock, radio show hostess for the popular radio program Witching Hour, which is hosting the WWN, the best card. Passing these giant orange snails in this corridor, we'll take a left and be introduced to the gnome. Gnomes in this game, they're pretty much, it's safe to ignore most of them, save for 2, which we'll encounter in the last spell challenge. One thing we can't ignore is number 76, Myron Wagtail, lead singer for the popular wizarding band, the Weird Sisters, the best card. And oh no, an ambush. Not really though, we just have to push these 2 fire crabs into their little pits. And the other one, Lucille's going to launch herself over the abyss just as the platform raises back once again. Oh, thank God. And then we're going to take a ride into this other room with even more fire crabs to push into their pits. However, we're going to use a little strategy here, which is a very esoteric little ledge grab. Once more. Taking some fire from the fire crab. They seem to shoot flames out of their backside right at you. And there we go. That was pretty good. As she opens the secret, casts the pendulum on that beam, opens the chest to grab number 56, Gideon Crumb, bagpipe player for the popular wizarding band, the Weird Sisters, the best card, and his mate, number 93, Heathcote Barbary, rhythm guitarist for the popular wizarding band, the Weird Sisters, the best card. She's going to descend these steps and take a ride, dodging this giant orange snail's trail. And here in this room, you have to align the portraits to be able to open the relevant gates. So to proceed forward, you have to press the top button 3 times, the middle button once, and the bottom one twice to align the forward-facing portraits that allow us to go through to this elevator and up to our next major part of the challenge, where I'll be honest with you, I don't quite like doing this trick myself. We're going to take a left here. We'll see a bit of a chasm. And Lucille makes the chasm jump look so easy. She's going to push this fire crab back into its pit, skip a cutscene or some stairs descending, and wait a bit too long for this door just to open up. There you go. A left here, there are 2 giant orange snails. She's going to hit one so she doesn't stand on its trail. Giant orange snails aren't exactly an enemy, more they're an obstacle. Bit of optimized movement here as she jumps onto the railings and jumps over here, passing the frog because she hasn't taken any damage whatsoever, and taking a dead right to grab number 94, Merton Graves, cello player for the popular wizarding band, the Weird Sisters, the best card. Nothing ominous about this room whatsoever, except for, oh no, an ambush. Not really though. Push the 2 fire crabs back in their boxes. Then she darts to the right as the cage opens, turns to the right, opens this chest, opens that secret, waits for that secret to slowly open, then she opens that chest, goes back to grab number 78, also known as Thruston, lead singer. Drummer for the popular Wizarding band, the Weird Sisters, the best card, and number 68, Kirkley Duke, lead guitarist for the popular Wizarding band, the Weird Sisters, the best card. Bit of an awkward cycle in that fire crab, very far away, because we have to push a minimum of 2 in there first, then we have to push a maximum of 4 down there to be able to end the challenge. 2 is only necessary to lower it far enough that Harry can get to the secret, where we'll find the last card of the challenge, everybody. Jumping on these 2 buttons to open the way in that chest is number 34, Donegan Tremlett, bass player for the popular Wizarding band, the Weird Sisters, the best card, and the last card of the challenge. It's 9 out of 9, 10 in total right now. Who's just going to ascend to the top of the tower to grab the last giant star. You see, all challenges work by having a big old star at the end we have to collect, and that will lead us out. That'll lead us to finish the challenge and kick us out back into the entrance hall. Now we've pushed our 4 fire crabs down there. We're going to hop on the edge over here to optimize our movement as much as possible to get to the top as quickly as we can. And unfortunately, as we grab the star, we do get house points. But we didn't grab any of the smaller stars, so we're going to follow Patricia over to the House Points Ceremony Chamber and we'll compare how much points we have to Slytherin. Let's see how we're going to do.
63, that's to 74.
Is it?
Third best.
Is it? Third best. Alright, that time is going away. Take a good look around, everybody. This is the Bean Bonus Room, as the name suggests. There's so many birdie bots, every flavour bean around just for us to get our hands on. Unfortunately, there's no cards here, but luckily, we're never going to see it again. Birdie bots, every flavoured beans, are the main currency in this game. You can use it to buy potion ingredients and cards that you missed, but we're going to grab each card the very first opportunity we can. Oliver Wood, captain of the Gryffindor Quidditch team, is going to lead us to the Quidditch pitch as we're going to take a small detour before we get there to open a secret that took me a few tries to find as a kid. Casting Alahomora on both those flags, we open this chest to go number 36, Jocelyn Wadcock, chaser for Potterthon United, who has the record for the most goals scored in a single season of Quidditch this century against the Ballyhead Bats, the best card. Quidditch in this game is a little bit different than the first one. It's an on-rails section, but there is a bit of challenge to it, not in this tutorial section, so you just have to wait for the bar in the bottom right to turn red so Harry can reach out and grab it. But this game introduces the mechanic of an opposing seeker who can in fact take the golden snitch away from Harry and win the game for the other team. Now Harry's going to, we're going to click on the button as soon as it flashes red, good, and in this minigame we have our Gryffindor opposing seeker to try and mess around with us. The strategy here is, because her health regenerates, and because Harry can't actually grab the snitch while she's around, we're going to let her live for as long as possible. And then we smack her into oblivion. She gets unconscious, flying somewhere in the sky. We get close enough that way she can't revive herself and come back and delay the little flight any longer. And there we go. That was Quidditch, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going to potions to learn how to mix a potion. You see, in this game, because they didn't think it was easy enough, you can actually gather 2 ingredients, Flubberworm Mucus and Wiggentree Bark, to create a Wiggenweld potion. That way, Harry has a little health boost just in case he gets hurt too much. We're always going to have one on standby, but as I said, health is very irrelevant category. There's a strategy here though. We have to jump on the chest to collect the 2 ingredients, and before we touch the cauldron, Professor Snape has to speak. There we go. Flubberworm Mucus, Wiggentree Bark, wait for him to speak. Now observe, and there we go. Skipping these cutscenes where Harry discovers Mrs. Norris's petrified body, along with writing on the wall talking about the Chamber of Secrets and the area of Slytherin. Now Hermione's going to ask our next teacher, Professor Flitwick, about the Chamber of Secrets, and he'll tell us the tale of how Salazar Slytherin built a chamber with a monster inside it, so his rightful descendant will one day return to Hogwarts, unleash that monster on all non-pureblood in the school. Very ominous. Hopping on the banisters, you can get some good momentum as you jump as they're moving. That way you can get all the way almost next to Hermione before you enter your charms class to learn your second spell of the game, Scourge. Scourge is a little arbitrary in that it's really only useful for taking out really only useful for cleaning up green slime. Now we do use it on one small boss fight, but it's really not that significant. Unlike the first spell, Rick the Sempra, Lucille's actually going to give this one a good old-fashioned try. Now we do have an issue with spell learning in this game, which is only really happen on the more modern gaming systems, where we press the right button at the right time, but the game doesn't recognize it and says, "No, you didn't. Start again." Yeah, sure, it immediately restarts, so it's not like a total pain, but fake inputs are still annoying, and they cost you several seconds of time. So far, no issue. As I said, after the first challenge, when we go to the house point ceremony and beat Slytherin, every subsequent house point ceremony, there's no chance of Gryffindor beating Slytherin and no chance of us going back to the Bean bonus room. We've succeeded. I think once upon a time there was a strategy to avoid going into the Bean bonus room even at the beginning, but that's long since been lost to time. And we're going to actually have our last little mini game, the hardest of the bunch. Hard in very much in quotation marks there, as Lucille makes her way to finish the spell lessons and into the Scourge Challenge. The whole gimmick of the Scourge Challenge is actually descending from the top of the tower to the bottom of one to grab a giant star. Max G has corrected me about the fake inputs. I'm not here for my technical knowledge of the game, clearly. I'm just here because I know all the cards. Speaking of which, there's only 6 cards in the Scourge Challenge, although they're not the most interesting of the bunch. Starting with this one, number 32, Bridget Wenlock, famous arithmeter who discovered the magical properties of the number 7, the best card. We're going to find our 10th bronze card in this challenge, everybody. And I said at the beginning of the game that every time Harry collects 10 bronze cards, he gets an extra bar of health. But when he does so, he does a little victory pose cutscene, which takes a little bit too long, if you ask me. So, some clever clogs has discovered, as we pass by all these 4 fire crabs, has discovered a way to maintain momentum in that cutscene. But who we're going to find here is Peeves the Poltergeist, returning from the first game. We cast Scourge on him a bunch, get him to fly about, get it all out, and then we proceed over here to the left. Now there's a big old pendulum thing in our way. We're going to cast Flipendo on it, but it's going to swing about and block the way forward. So we're going to cast Lumos in this gargoyle, because whenever there's a gargoyle, there's bound to be a secret. Down here we can go into a little basement area, cast Flipendo on this same pendulum again as it swings about, cast Scourge on this little way forward. That lowers the gate but blocks off where we came from. So let's go through here, take a right to grab number 53, Greta Catchglove, author of Charm Your Own Cheese, the best card. Exceptional. Going up these steps to the 5th fire crab that we don't have to bother with, we'll find ourselves heading through the same room earlier with all the Scourge slimes on the ground, but also in this same room that you see that the way we came from is now blocked. There is no going back, but there is a little going left as we grab number 66, Flavius Belby, only known survivor of a Letherfold attack, the best card. A Letherfold is a monster that's very similar to a Dementor in that it's vulnerable to a Patronus but only attacks you when you're asleep. Flavius Belby was lucky enough to be only half asleep, meaning he had time to conjure his Patronus. Now this is a bit of an awkward cycle on that snail as it's all the way on the other side of the room. We're going to push him across on this little panel for snails here, because this will open this door and allow us to grab number 14, Fulbert the Fearful. Said to have been so cowardly he never ventured outside his home and died when a defensive charm backfired and the roof collapsed. The best card. 2 snail platforms that you can just jump on yourself, and that way we can open the door with our own momentum. Descending these steps, we may find the bane of any category of this game, the Cornish Pixie. Number 98, Infinite Fermage had the right idea. We'd get to ignore him though. One thing we can't ignore is to hop over here and cast Flipendo on that switch, because it opens a secret with another card in it. Specifically, number 59, Gregory the Smarmy, inventor of Gregory's Unctuous Unction, a potion that makes you believe whoever gave it to you is your best friend, the best card. Now, casting the Scourge to release this bridge, she hops across into this bigger room with a big seesaw on it. The strategy is to push a big weight onto one end of the seesaw so it won't descend when Harry tries to cross it. And the way we do that is to find a block to push on it, which is all the way up here. As we enter here, a secret will open for us with a chest that has the last card of the challenge and our 10th bronze card, as you see now. There you go. We'll cast Scourge here, push this block across, make sure those gnomes don't get us. And she's going to align herself just right, hopefully. Hop, Scott, show us what you got. This, everybody, is a Harry Extended Super Slide. You may notice we have our second bar of health now, and we call this a Hess for short, because someone noticed that if we jump into a 10th bronze or silver card into that cutscene, Harry will maintain his forward momentum, and we can use that to gain some ground. And we don't need it anymore, though, because we finished the challenge. That's the giant star. And now Patrick is going to lead us to the House Points Ceremony Chamber, which we're going to lose, of course, because we have less points of Slytherin. And now the plot really begins, where Hermione Granger wants to interrogate Draco Malfoy over whether or not he's the heir of Slytherin. And to do that, he needs Harry or Ron to disguise themselves as Slytherin students. And to do that, they need to make a Polyjuice potion. One of the ingredients for said potion is only found in Professor Snape's storeroom, the Bicorn Horn. We are going to go and collect a Bicorn Horn for our Polyjuice potion now. Next parts of the game we'll be dealing with collecting Bicorn Horn. And I'll be honest, this part of the game is actually my least favourite, both casually and in my own AWC Glitchless runs, because there's a lot of waiting about, as you'll see from the very first obstacle. You have to cast Flipendo on these two switches to lower a platform, and then wait for that to come down. Bicorn has 6 cards available in it. We don't have a 10th bronze or silver card, that comes a little later. But the cards here, there's a lot of waiting about, I found, in this challenge. First with that platform, then with this bridge, which you have to slowly wait for it to rise up. But at least over here we'll find 2 cards very, very close to each other. Opening that secret, then opening this chest, we'll grab number 6, Glandor Peaks, famous slayer of the Sea Serpent of Promo. And over here we have number 42, Crispin Kronk, sent to Azkaban for illegally keeping sphinxes in his backyard despite repeated warnings. The best card. Now this is a room that it takes a little too long. First you have to trick these or push these giant orange snails into that little trench, which raises up another little pen with 2 fire crabs we have to push into those cages on the sides of the room, painfully, and one spell at a time. One spell at a time. I could never run Glitchless. I miss pause casting just a bit too much. But now the door's opened and we can just... Who needs stairs when we've got gravity? Outstanding. But goody, we get to do all that again. Yeah, not the best game or puzzle in this game, I reckon. The only good thing is we grab number 2, Cornelius Agrippa, famous magical author who was imprisoned by non-magical folks for his writings. The best card. Into the cage he goes, Mr. Snail, and we're going to first open that secret, lower this bridge, which is held up by Scourge, return to this secret as it opens up for us, open the chest to grab number 55, Honoria Nutcombe, founder for the Society of the Reformation of Hags. The best card. Down these steps, we don't need them anyway. We're going to jump into this cool maze section of the game to perform the Better Than Dry Storage number 7 as we turn around, cast the Pendo on the right button, make our way through straight to the end so we can grab number 46, Miranda Goshawk, famous spellbook writer, and proceed onwards. Casting the spell just before the chest opens. There she is. These doors have opened now and past this fire crab, as I mentioned earlier. Here's another section of the game that we're going to use a parkour just to circumvent. Excuse me. And there we go. Forward to second one. Onto the platform. She makes it look easy, everybody. Same with grabbing number 4, Grogan Stump, famous minister of magic appointed 1811. The best card. Or was it 1810? Oh well. Now, there's really nothing else, no more challenges in this challenge. We just have to make our way back. Only by playing this, going from any percent back to glitchless, you find just how slow this part of the game was. There's a bridge here, a very flimsy one with lots of pixies in the way, but they didn't ruin our day, maybe just this once. We're going to drop down here, oh no, an ambush, except not really, because we'll just climb our way back up into the storeroom and back to grab the Bicorn Horn. Exiting Bicon, we'll enter Professor Snape's classroom. There are 2 cards hidden here. This is number 9, Gunhilda of Gorsmore, one-eyed humpback witch who discovered the cure for dragonpox, the best card canonically. There's a statue of her on the 3rd floor. But here's a more interesting card because it's our 10th silver card, everybody. In this elaborate secret where we raise some steps, we'll go up here into the secret to grab number 60, Laverne de Montmorency. But before we do, Lucille's going to align herself just right to get another Hess, just so we can move out of the classroom and into the other room. Exceptional, right? And that went perfectly. We're going to give the ingredients to Hermione, follow Patrick all the way to the Great Hall to learn to be introduced to the dueling minigame. Dueling is actually quite fun casually, but it completely breaks the bean economy in this game when you realize just how simple it really is. But there's still some strategy involved in killing Draco Malfoy here. You have to cast at him just right at the right time, as Lucille is going to demonstrate. 1, 2,
Pretty good.
3. Too easy. Too easy. Now comes, we're going to follow Ron here to lead us to the herbology class in the greenhouse. Hermione's headed up to the 2nd floor because she's working on the Polyjuice potion. You can actually go back up there to talk to her, but she's actually really patronizing, saying stuff like, "I'm really busy, Harry. Why don't you go play Quidditch or something?" So we're not going to go there anyway. Here we're going to follow Ron into this area of the game that has just opened up. There are 3 cards hidden around here, but we're just going to grab this first one in this secret over here, which is number 43, Cyprian Yaudel, our only Quidditch referee to be killed during a Quidditch match. The originator of the killing curse was never found, but believed to be a member of the crowd. The best card. Following Ron, we'll go to enter the greenhouse to learn our 3rd spell of the game, Defindo, the Severing Charm, which has a lot more utility than Scourge, if you ask me. But this is 3rd verse, same as the first 2. You know exactly what happens. You know exactly how this goes, exactly what we have to do. So this is a great time to actually remind you that this charity that Potterthon is supporting is once again the Trevor Project, the world's largest suicide prevention and crisis intervention organization for LGBTQ young people today. It works to save young lives by providing support through free and confidential suicide prevention and crisis intervention programs on platforms where so many young people spend their time. It has a 24/7 phone lifeline, a chat and text, and it runs Trevor Space, the world's largest safe space social networking site for LGBTQ youth. And it operates innovative education, research and advocacy program. It is very much a great cause. See, we have one last little mini game, the 3rd level to do, the hardest one for Defindo, and we're entering the Defindo challenge. See, the Defindo challenge is about, well, it sort of has a theme of going around in a big circle to reach the giant star, and it has 8 cards in it. It has the worst card here, but to balance that out, it has the actual best card. Starting here, she's going to hop on through this little frame, which is a really satisfying trick to get. It's really hard to explain, but it's so satisfying when you jump through that window. You don't even touch the little stone wall. Wonderful. You may see her baiting some giant orange snails into here, and you may see her pushing some secret Flipendo buttons. That's because we have to push 2 snails to be able to proceed, but there's also a secret here that we need to collect. We're going to cut these 2 vines using Defindo, the newly acquired spell, and as we push the 2nd one in, we can skip the cutscenes of the door opening and enter here to grab number 70, Leopoldina Smethwick, first witch to referee a Quidditch match, the best card. First of 8 cards we'll find in this challenge. Up here we'll cut some rope and be seen, and these are horcrux, mushrooms, poisonous mushrooms that release a toxic gas. Not much of an issue. We'll be dealing with some of those very, very soon, or after this challenge in particular. Cutting the rope on the one block that'll rise higher than the first one, she cuts this rope to lower the drawbridge. Here is a little room with a pixie that she is thankfully going to kill. And she's going to open the chest and cut rope on the block we'll just push so we can grab number 12, Merwin the Malicious. Merwin the Malicious is famous for inventing many unpleasant jinxes and hexes, the best card. through here. Really nice slick movement through that area. We're going to hop on this block. Usually we have to go all the way up here, but luckily Harry's range is adequate enough that he can cut that giant rope from down there and open the way through. Casting for Pendo, we're going to go take a left. Casting left, sorry. Casting Lumos on this step, on that little gargoyle as we head on up. There's two secrets here. The one directly in front, challenge star available, but we don't really have to bother with that for the time ever actually in this run. What we do have to bother with is this chest and this little Pendo block that's up here. We'll have a little cutscene once we push it through. Just like that. And when we descend back here, we'll grab number 18, Uruk the Oddball, medieval dates unknown, eccentric wizard who was famous, among other things, for wearing a jellyfish as a hat. The best card. And through here, as we push the block into that little blocked hole, we have number 8, Derwent Shimpling, famous for eating an entire venomous tentacular on a bet and survived, although he is still purple. The best card. Over here, we're just going to pass a giant orange snail and pass a giant fire crab. My goodness, that scourge had some air on it, actually. Pushing herself across this platform to get up this ledge. She's gonna ignore the pixie. I wish we could. And cut this rope to descend a little further. We're gonna be entering a more open area after this, after we jump over these bridges. We're gonna enter a place that has a lot of hawk lumps to move around, but also we're gonna hop over the wall just in front of us to be introduced to another enemy from the first game. The venomous tentacular. You know these ones, these sort of Venus flytrap killer monster things. You remember them from the first game where you used Incendio on them instead of Defendo. It's nice to see them again. Here we have a really cool secret. Now, it's awesome because you could miss it by cutting down that second rope, but if you're clever, you can hop up here and open it here. The tragic thing is, we're not going for challenge stars, and as we know, usually you would like a cool and awesome reward for finding a secret like this, but that's not what we're going to get. Instead we get number 85, Blenheim Stork. Wrote a couple of books on how non-magical people may or may not know how magic happens in the world. What a waste of cardboard. There's only one redeeming feature about number 85, and that's the card that we're going to collect next. But don't worry, we'll get to her soon. There we go. This is a big old area. It's pretty interesting, but unfortunately all we do is push more giant orange snails into pits. We can bait them here actually, because after Richter Semper, I think, I'm not sure if they do have this charge ability, where they see you and make, go a short distance very quickly towards where you are. It's supposedly to give them a little bit more challenge, but it does not land. We're going through this undergrowth behind the tree. There's actually a bowtruckle here, those big wooden things that chuck sticks at you. There's a couple of spiderwebs also that we don't know what's going. That may or may not have an implication to the plot, but who knows. And now is a card that needs no introduction. An expert herbologist who risked life and limb to become a pioneer in a field of expertise. Not many people can do what she can do. Let me introduce you to your friend and mine, number 49, Elidora, good to her mother, Ketterich. The actual best card. Outstanding, everybody. Passing through this little field of venomous tentaculars, she's going to open another secret to have number 21, Lord Stoddard Withers, famous breeder of flying horses, the best card. And we're going to descend a little further. The challenge is almost over, but it sort of comes to a sort of standstill right at the end. Not in this area in particular, where we just have to cast some Lumos to reveal which way to go, but in this area now. See, we try to go forward, and what happens? Everything shuts us out, and we have to push this giant orange snail into a pit. That's how we proceed. Okay, once is enough. Maybe it's just a bit of a detour. Open this secret for no reason whatsoever. And what happens the second time? Oh no, we're cut off again, and now we have to push 3 of them around. You may see a place for only 2 of them, but that's because we have to push that third snail that we just knocked out, slowly, one spell at a time, all the way into the secret, giving him enough time to regenerate and wake up, so we have to knock him out again. Onto this platform where we can activate another secret to grab number 87, Thaddeus Thurkel, said to have produced 7 squib sons and turned them all into hedgehogs in gust. The best card. And the last card for Defendo, everybody. We're going We're going to grab the big old star at the end of the challenge. We're going to go to the house point ceremony. We're going to relax and do the rest of the game. Nobody's going to interrupt us going back whatsoever. Not at all. We'll just head on up these steps, and would you look at that? Ron Weasley telling us we have to go back to class. What a pain. Because Hermione needs some shredded boomslang skin, another ingredient for the Polyjuice potion, which is only found in Professor Snape's storeroom. Now we're back at the greenhouse, and here we have just 2 more cards to find, including our 20th bronze card, which is hidden here. Lucille will open it, adjust her position, and make sure she can get a bit of a hess on it. Doesn't matter if this goes right or wrong, but let me tell you, I'd say that went pretty well. Because she's right in front of the greenhouse and she can jump straight on through the desks and through the tables. But instead of taking the left, she'll take her right down to this area at the end of the area at the end here, a little cave area where we can grab number 33, Beaumont Majory Banks. The best card. Oh, famous herbologist who discovered gillyweed. That's what he did. Ron says he's not going to help us. He says he's going to look out for Professor Sprout, but there's no need there. This is the Boomslang Challenge. We're going to take off a venomous tentacular head so we can jump on it and give us a bit of extra height to climb onto that platform and through this area. We're going to release this wheel, which is going to spin that giant L-shaped bridge around, and we're going to hop back down, hop back on the head, and jump right back up again, skipping a bit of the climb. And now we'll notice a big flipendo switch on the floor, which we'll cast on to reveal a gargoyle. We can cast Lumos on that, and as we know, where there's a gargoyle, there's often a secret. And in this case, it's a secret we got to find because there's a card in it. As we hop across here, cutting corners to shave off some time, we'll take a right here to grab number 90, Sasha Rissa Tugwood, a pioneer of beautifying potions who was first to discover the pimple-curing properties of Booba Pus, the best card. And here is better than Dry Storage 5, I think we're about to perform.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Or mushroom stacking.
Better than... Yeah, or mushroom stacking. See, porcelain mushrooms, you can jump on them, but if you get hurt whilst you're in the air with them, you can actually stack them on top of one another, but you can still climb on them. Meaning, we can, we adjust how we, if we adjust how we, where we drop them, you can jump on top of these 3 mushrooms, turn around, get into this greenhouse, grab number 28 Tilly Toke, save non-magical life during the Ilford comments and the Knight for 32, the best card, and then grab the Boomslang skin, finishing the challenge. We're going to give the ingredients to Hermione, and then we're going to follow Patrick to the House Point Ceremony Chamber as we open this chest just for much, much later. In fact, much later, I mean literally the last part of the game, and then lose to Slytherin. Harry's curious about how the Polyjuice potion is coming along, so he's going to go to find, what's her name? He's going to go to Moaning Myrtle's bathroom and ask Hermione about how it's coming along. Unfortunately, he's going to run into nearly headless Nyx's petrified body and be caught at the scene of the crime. And this is one of the reasons I miss the English voice acting, because the voice acting as he discovers his body is kind of bad, so it sounds awfully sarcastic, opening that chest. Here he says, "Oh no, not another attack," as if he's trying to deflect blame. Unfortunately, Professor McGonagall has caught us at the scene of the crime, so she's going to take us to Dumbledore's office. Dumbledore's office is a place in the game which has 2 cards within it, and for the longest time, the bronze card within the office, we thought we couldn't purchase that. As in, if we missed it here, we would invalidate the run because we couldn't get it anywhere else in the game. That was only recently been proven wrong in the last Harry Potter bingo tournament, which surprised everyone actually. But to get out of Dumbledore's office, first you have to activate 2 separate cutscenes, and then you actually have to operate, and then Dumbledore will come in. So we're going to activate one cutscene with Fawkes the Phoenix, and then we're going to go collect 1 card. We're going to drop down and activate the second cutscene, and before Dumbledore comes in, we'll grab the last one too. There we go, Fawkes just burned to death. We're going to open that chest for later, and we're going to go upstairs while finding the secret lift to get us to the only silver card in this part of the game. Number 79, Oswald Beamish, Pioneer for Goblin Rights, the best card. Hopping down to the cutscene with the sorting hat, not taking any damage at all, we grab number 10, Bardock Muldoon. head of the Wizarding Council, the best card. There's a bit of a long expositional scene where poor old Dumbledore tells us about Fawkes the Phoenix and how they respawn. He tells us about how, Harry, if you have any clue anything to tell me, any clue whatsoever to this monster going around attacking innocent students, could you please tell me? And Harry, of course, in his feelings, just decides, you know what, I don't want to tell you anything, Dumbledore. There's nothing to say. It's an unskippable cutscene, I think, for the purpose of I was informed once that there are large objects in the game moving about during a cutscene. You know, if you skip said cutscene, you could soft lock the game so they wouldn't allow you to do it. So some of the unskippable cutscenes are unskippable by design, apparently. Anything to tell me at all, Harry? Anything? No, not at all, Professor. One thing about Harry's voice acting here is that the sounds he makes when he lands, like the little gasp he makes or the scream he shouts when he falls, it's all undubbed, so it's all the English version, whilst everything else is in Swedish, with the actor with the deeper voice. Ron's going to lead us to the second floor bathroom, but we're going to take a small detour in the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom, opening this chest to grab number 50, Musadora Barkwith, composer of the Unfinished Wizarding Suite, which involves an exploding tuba and has since been banned since its last performance blew off the roof of the Ackley Town Hall in 1904. The best card. We're going to follow Ron down here. He's just going to jump from the third floor to the second. We're going to follow him. Hopefully, we landed next to him. Sometimes we can land in front of him if we play our cards right. But, sometimes we're going to beat him completely because for some reason he decides to go backwards. Going to the left here, Hermione's going to inform us we only need one last ingredient, and that's a bit of hair from Gregory Goyle, a Slytherin student who happens to be Draco Malfoy's friend. We're going to put that piece of hair into a potion and then drink it. There's Gregory Goyle now at the end of this dungeons area. Before we follow him up to the gardens, we're going to cast Lumos on this gargoyle, cast Scourge on that slime, which lowers this gate, which cast Alohomora on this chest to grab number 54, Gaspard Shingleton, inventor of the self-stirring cauldron, the best card. Now this we call the Goyle section of the game, just because we're going to go and find a piece of Goyle. And it has 6 cards in it, starting with one just at the end outside in that open area, which is number 83, Roderick Plumpton, famous English seeker who holds the record for the fastest catcher of the Golden Snitch, which is 3.5 seconds, the best card. Up these spiral steps we'll be entering. Soon we'll have an area of the game that won't have any fall damage in it, but for some reason you can't do it casually, or at least the way they intended to, with a big old block in the way. Yeah, push around a big old flipendo block and try get that down. Getting the lovely jump around the column there. She jumps down to cast Lumos here, threw up to the secret to grab number 62, Ignatia Wildsmith, witch who invented flu powder, the best card. Hopping down, Lucille will go up these steps past the save book. We'll take a left to an area with a giant fire crab in it. Giant fire crabs are going to be a more reoccurring enemy. They just take 2 spells to kill, not to stun, than their smaller counterparts. But for the time being, it's just easy cruising in this really oddly hostile garden. 2 giant orange snails, nothing to worry about to be honest. Up into this area, we're going to take a lift to the top floor. Makes it easier. There's a chest there we can open and oh, what's this? Oh no, an ambush. Not really though. Push these 2 fire crabs into their pit. Grab number 80, Beatrix Bloxham, author of the Toadstool Tales, which has since been a series of books which has since been banned because they cause nausea and vomiting. And here we go, we dodge these 2 giant orange snails, push them into their little pits. One thing you may notice about number 80 Beatrix Bloxham, the best card, is that she lived from 1794 to 1810, and she looks about 80. It's a very weird inconsistency. Maybe there's a magical reason, or maybe the guys who wrote the cards just messed up. We're going to go straight across, no issues whatsoever. Oh no, an ambush. Not really though. Let's go back up here. This is going to open these steps. We're going to adjust these beams, you see. There needs to be, these beams have to be set in a certain way so that the gate on the left will open up, allowing us to get a chest with a card in it. We also want to go up to the top floor, up those steps we just unlocked, because there's also another secret card hidden behind that gargoyle we see in plain sight. Over here we'll have number 44, Delvin Whitehawk, founder of the Nimbus Racing Broom Company, the best card. And downstairs we'll hop down here to grab number 47, Edgar Strulga, inventor of the Sneakoscope, The best card, and the 5th of 6 cards in this challenge area, actually. Going to cast Scourge on these little places. Be careful of that Pixie, because he has, more than once, that Pixie has knocked me down into the abyss. And I saw it happen to poor Susie Doodle times in one of her runs not too long ago. Well, actually very long ago. But we're going to follow through here into a barn area, sort of barn where, if we actually look down, we could see Gregory Goyle fast asleep, because unlike the movies and the books, he wasn't drugged in this version. Opening this little trapdoor, we have to go outside again, and we have to land on this little platform. We could just go straight to the door of the barn, but we have some business to tend to. This is an all-wizard run, and we have another card to collect. Dropping this drawbridge that's guarded by 2 venomous tentacular. We're going to enter here an area with a lot of bow truckle and a lot of spiky bushes, taking a bit of a chomp there. Cutting this rope down with this chest in it, and adjust ourselves to grab our 20th silver card. Number 22, Circe, Ancient Greek, the first of 4 Ancient Greek cards. First famous sorceress who lived on the island of Ai and was expert at turning lost sailors into pigs. The best card. And the last card of that area, we open the barn, and there we see the hair from whatever part of the body we see fit. Okay, we're going to take some from his nipples, and we're going to put that in a potion and then drink it up. Now we're back on the 2nd floor. We're going to go back to Moaning Myrtle's bathroom and give Hermione the last ingredient for the Polyjuice potion, and turn ourselves into Gregory Goyle, where we'll hear possibly the best song in the game, which really encapsulates having to go through a very ugly and unpleasant transformation. And now, we're Goyle, opening this chest for a card that we're going to save for later. I think Lucille is going to take the risky strat and jump all the way down from the 2nd floor to the ground floor. Is that right?
Always. Got so much health.
Always. Yeah, like I said, health is totally irrelevant in this category.
We get a full heal in Slytherin.
Oh yeah, that too. When we grab number 95 Yardley Platt, but that's neither here nor there. Oh, we didn't even lose a full bar. That's how irrelevant health is. We've got health to burn. One thing we're going to do before we head to Slytherin is actually head towards the House Point Ceremony Chamber, but not into it, because there's a secret right next to the entrance, a little chamber before that chamber, which we can open up, and we can finally access now that we have Defender. Cast Scourge and then Defender on the Spiderweb, and open this to grab number 73 Mopsus, the 2nd Ancient Greek card that has an ancient soothsayer who conquered who conquered the seer Calcaras in a contest of their powers. The best card. Following a Slytherin student who's about to accidentally reveal to Harry disguised as Goyle what the password to the Slytherin common room is, which is the Swedish version of Pure Blood. We're first going to stop and grab another card that's in this room. We've now explored pretty much all areas of the dungeon that we can after this, we'll go to this is the last area of the dungeon we'll ever have to go to. Casting Lumos to reveal a little bit of rope to lower a platform to open the chest to grab number 20, Wendelin the Weird. Said to have enjoyed being burnt at the stake so much, she allowed herself to be caught using various disguises and burnt several times again. The best card. Now the door opens, and we're going on our way to the Slytherin common room. There are 2 cards on the way to the Slytherin common room, and only 3 cards in the Slytherin common room itself. Pressing on this button, which revolves this whole room so we can go to our right, we're going to enter here, cast Flipendo twice on this handsome fella to lower this platform. To lower us down to a wheel we have to spin around, which will open these doors, but also allow us to go through to the other side of the same room we were just in and move it about. Losing a few beans to our gnome that just happened to get in the way. This is exactly the same place we were just before, but instead, this time, we go to the left because it's going to be closer to where we have to go. We're going to see a bridge that all Slytherins have to cross to get to their room, but some nasty Slytherin has actually decided to lower the bridge, so now poor Harry Goyle has to raise the bridge again. This, however, isn't raising the bridge. This is collecting the first card that we need to collect on the way to Slytherin Common Room. Pushing out these 3 buttons, which push out a platform for Harry to land on. We can use this to bridge the gap to get to a chest that has number 3, Elfrida Clegg, Chieftainess of the Wildlock Council, the best card. Up back again, we're going to do a bit of a strat here, which I personally have only accomplished once. But she makes it look so easy as she did the bridge skip on the first try. We're getting closer to the Slytherin common room, making excellent time, everybody. Casting Lumos on this gargoyle as we go back, because we have to open this little secret here, and we're going to grab our 29th bronze wizard card. Oh. Number 24, Adalbert Waffling. Wrote some books about magic. Whoop-de-doo. Yeah. Give him a card, hey. But aside from that, Lucille's actually got a good cycle here with the Lumos still activated. She might be able to make it to the end of the corridor just in time.
Got it.
And she does in fact make it to the end of the corridor just in time to activate the last secret Lumos door. It's great. We are now in the Slytherin common room, everybody. 3 cards to collect here, and we have to talk to Draco Malfoy to proceed the story. And first, we're going to go to this fountain to grab the 30th bronze card, number 95, Yardley Platt, famous goblin serial killer, the best card. Be careful, she's going to line herself and get the Hess to get right on out of here. Too good. Before we talk to Draco Malfoy, we're going to open another secret in this Alahomora on these 2 banisters for Slytherin house. We're going to go down here, skip a cutscene where it shows that the door has opened, and we're going to talk to Draco Malfoy, who reveals he is actually not the heir of Slytherin, meaning we've done all this effort for nothing. And now the Polyjuice potion wore off, Harry has to escape before the Slytherins catch him. But we have some priorities here. We're going to grab number 17, Morgan Le Fay. Medieval dates unknown, arch nemesis of Merlin, and was King Arthur's half-sister. The best card. In the library here, with no students to chase her just yet, Lucille's going to head up these bookcases, and she's going to find another chest which has number 67, Justice Pillywickle, famous head of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement. The best card. These are Arachnomantula, giant spiders who look weirdly realistic compared to all the other cartoony looking monsters in this game. As the door opens, oh gosh, that guy just booked it straight for us. Hey, but we got out of here in time. Now the plot thickens because now we don't know who the heir of Slytherin might be. But we don't have no time to worry.
16 seconds.
Holy hell, that's also missing a card.
Oh, it is. I was distracted by my gold.
Lucille almost missed number 13, Andros the Invincible, ancient Greek, the third of ancient Greek cards available, who was famous for producing a Patronus the size of a giant, the best card. We're heading on our way to our second Defense Against the Dark Arts lesson to learn our final spell, Spongify, and to play the best spell challenge in the game. Somebody prove me wrong. Once more, using the same strats as we used to get up there on the first, when we had our first spell lesson, we're going to land on some banisters sometime. We're going to use that momentum to help carry us up, and once we're on the second to the third floor, we're going to use a little skip to land on these steps and save a few seconds of waiting for the steps to move in there on their own. Taking a dead right, we go up here, and now we have Spongify.
Koncentrera dig på symbolen framför dig. Låt inte mitt vackra utseende distrahera dig.
I know we'll discover it soon anyway, but what Spongify allows us to do is to these little carpets that we find in and throughout the Hogwarts grounds, which we'll be able to jump on top of and be launched through the air. It is a lot of fun. I really believe that we have there's a different for every directional keys we press during this mini game, but you know, despite how long I've thought about that, I've never bothered to go back and check for myself. Doesn't seem to be much of an issue anyway. I'm sure someone cleverer than I, like Mark or Beaver, will have a look just for fun.
I do know myself there are multiple sound files for these sound effects. There are varied files. I think it's by direction, because I think it's not by challenge.
Yeah, it'll make sense. And besides, doing a different musical notes for 4 different spells, which a little detail that may not even be known forever. It seems like a lot of effort, especially for a tie-in game. It's mainly based on the game that came before it. Last time we actually do any spell mini game here, everybody. But after this, we'll have a full arsenal, and no part of the castle will be hidden or blocked off from us.
Väldigt grabben. Du har klarat
Well done, Harry. We have learned Spongify.
15 poäng till Gryffindor.
And now, everybody, comes the Spongify, the best spell challenge in the game. You may remember I said we only have to bother with 2 gnomes later in the game. These are them. You see, we have to push these 2 fellas. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to push these 2 fellas, or throw them rather, into the little gnome hole. And once we activate them, and once they do, they will unlock a secret. Oh, he recovered fast. They'll unlock a secret gargoyle statue that we can cast Lumos on, and access another secret just in this room, which has 2 cards in it. A secret within a secret. Look at that. Look at that. There we have opened the chest to grab number 1 Merlin. Oh, miss him first, and we'll grab number 92 Xavier Rastrick, flamboyant wizard, tap dancing wizard who disappeared whilst performing in front of a crowd of 300 and was never seen again. And number 1 Merlin, the most famous wizard of all time. The best cards. We're going to cast Lumos again on that statue because we really need that Lumos light to activate another secret. See, we're going to skip these imps, which are basically hyper-aggressive versions of gnomes that take health instead of beans, jump across these couple of abysses, and hopefully we can maintain that Lumos because it's usually pretty lenient. But we don't want to take any chances. Skipping the cutscene that shows us what's going on, hitting the imp so it doesn't get in our way, and we got it. And we can also grab number 81 Kwang Po, discover the magical properties behind Powdered Dragon, the best card. There we go, up here. Thanks to that, we can just sort of skip the business of throwing the imps and having to reveal the gargoyle statue, and instead just hop on up to this big old platform to unlock the way forward. And in this room, we have another series of fire crabs to deal with. Casually, you can just sort of skip it and do what Lucille is doing. Jump on these platforms and jump on that star platform, which opens the door for us. But we have to go back, cast Richter Semper and get rid of all these 4 fire crabs because it'll reveal a secret, quite a well-hidden secret too, because they're very well-hidden secrets in this challenge. That's what makes one of the things that makes it so good. Drop down to grab number 98, Dimp the Furmarch, famously abducted by pixies whilst on holiday in Cornwall and lived in mortal dread of them thereafter. Failed to have the Ministry of Magic get all pixies humanely destroyed. She had the right idea until she used the word humanely. Now this is another card, number 52 Felix Summerby. I never discovered this as a kid and I feel quite stupid for never doing it because Mr. Felix Summerby invented the cheering charm. Readers of the books may remember this from Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, as Harry, Ron and Hermione have to learn it and practice it for their charms class. Using momentum to hop across that the little gap there, we can use Spongify to get across here, use Scourge to just completely bypass this giant fire crab completely. There's a little one in there just to distract you and make you think there's more to that secret, but there really isn't. Just cast Spongify, hop on over into a much bigger room with much cooler secrets. Hopping across these 3 things, watching out for the pixie, God bless you, and then we head over here, cast Lumos as she's still in the air to reveal these hidden platforms, cast Lependo on this little switch that's pretty secret to open this area, hop across to grab number 97 Alberic Runnion. There we go, now Alberic Runnion, inventor of the Dung Bomb, the best card. We can go on now. You see, there's a bit of a sad story here, bit of a upsetting moment here where one of the coolest secrets in the whole game is in this very room, but there's no cards, so we don't bother with it, as we just go all the way back up and go to our next area where Lucille's not going to jump on this platform. She's going to sort of drop down first so she can grab number 88 Celestina Warbeck, famous singing sorceress, the best card, and then she's going to move on up and jump to the left of this, because if we jump onto where that little button with the 2 feet on it, it'll lower that platform and mean we can't actually jump across. This seems like more of an oversight from the devs, if anything. Grabbing the save book just in case, because everybody dies in this section at one point or another, no matter how confident they are. But she makes it look easier. Please look up, good on ya. We're going to grab the last card of the challenge, everybody, getting rid of that spider, but also grabbing number 96 Hengist of Woodcroft, founder of Hogsmeade Village, the best card. Last card of Spongify, last card of any spell challenge. We're doing so well as we grab the last giant star, head on to the last house point, Ceremony 2, following Patricia all the way there. After this, we have a bit of a card collecting spree. So, I'm going to rest my voice for a short while.
people may be pleased to hear, I'm 27.6 seconds ahead of PB. Down from 47 after Slytherin.
Hey, a PB is a PB is a PB. And I tell you what else is great. Now we're going to be number 99 Daisy Dodderich is all the way up here in a secret that in my route in regular AWC. In regular AWC, we actually have to... I actually grab him just before we head on off to Slytherin, Common Room. But in this route, we have our 30th silver wizard card, everybody. Now we only have 10 more to find, and we're going to grab a few on our way in the next area. See, somebody's thrown something at Moaning Myrtle and made her very upset. We're going to go find what it is right after we grab all these cards. There we have number 51, Ethelred the Ever-Ready. Famous for taking offense at nothing and cursing innocent bystanders, the best card. Number 89, Alberta Tootle, we just grabbed at the top of the Grand Staircase. Famous wizard dueling champion, the best card. Here we'll cast Flipendo at these 4 paintings, which includes the Mona Lisa. It reveals a secret we'll get to later. We cast Lumos, which reveals a secret platform we need to get to another chest. And we're going to jump on this little obscure little cement block to open another secret, open another chest, which has another card. But the first of 4 cards we're going to grab is number 38, Chancey Alderidge. First known victim of Dragonpox, the best card, followed by number 75, Mungo Bonham, magical healer who founded St. Mungo's Hospital for Magical Ailments, the best card. Going back up, instead of going into the main room, we're going to grab number 58, Glover Hipworth, inventor of the Pepper Up Potion, the cure for the common cold. And finally, on the 4th floor, we're going to grab number 71, Queen Maeve, medieval dates unknown, famous mythological Irish witch who trained young witches and wizards in magic prior to the foundation of Hogwarts schools. Funnily enough, she's the only card, one of the 2 cards in this game that doesn't have any dates attached, like medieval dates unknown. Here we have number 30, Artemisia Lufkin, first witch to become Ministry for Magic. And second of all, Queen Maeve never had a... Queen Maeve also didn't have any dates in this game, but according to the 6th gen versions, where the card text is slightly edited, it's been corrected, and she does in fact have did live in medieval times. Over here, we're going to grab another card. My second favorite card, actually, is number 37, Cassandra Blatsky's 1894 to 1997, celebrated seer and author of Unfogging the Future, the best card. In the cutscene there, it's revealed by the mysterious diary of a man named Tom Riddle, or a student named Tom Riddle, that Hagrid, Rubeus Hagrid, of all people, was the man who opened the Chamber of Secrets all those years ago. He's showing us what we're doing here. Showing us him catching Hagrid right in the act. In the meantime, we have a donation from Linux86 saying, "Great work, Lucy. Beautiful slides, precise jumps, speedy gnome recovery, and a gold by 13 seconds, and 2 frogs just to show off. Such skill, and you're past all the spells. Glad to support the cause. Keep pushing. You can do this." And I agree with 110%. As Aragog walks by, reveal the monster to be the evil monster of the Chamber of Secrets is a giant spider. Hermione is going to go to the library. She just had an epiphany, but Ron and Harry are going to go to the Forbidden Forest as we actually go and collect a last bunch of cards. Like, here we go, we cut this vine, we can drop down to find another secret which has number 39, Gwendoline Jones, captain and beater of the all-female Quidditch team, the Holyhead Harpies, the best card. Around this corner, we can go through to grab number 26, Almeric Sawbridge, famous slayer of a mountain troll, the best card, and our 40th bronze wizard card, everybody. Top up on that health, even though not a lot of it was, we weren't missing a lot of it. We have a few more cards to grab, one more card in the entrance hall, however. There's a bronze card that may be in a very occasion to even the casual observer, but we're not going to grab him just yet. We're going to grab number 35, Bowman Wright, inventor of the Golden Snitch, the best card. And on the side here, we're going to just descend the steps and follow Ron outside. Outside at night time, we have to collect quite a few, starting with this one over to the right. Number 64, Jasonda Sykes, first person to fly a single broomstick flight across the Atlantic, the best card. Down here, we'll find my 3rd favourite wizard card of the entire game. In the secret is number 77, Norval Twonk, who died saving a non-magical kid from a runaway manticore and posthumously awarded the Order of Merlin First Class. What a champion, if you ask me. You know, and if you've ever played HP3, you'll find that he actually has one of the floor portrait passwords. The password for his portrait is Manticore, which I think is a little tasty, if you ask me. You step on this other platform, just like on the 4th floor, it opens a secret with a card in it, but so we grab number 27, Mirabella Plunkett, one of the weirdest stories, actually. You know, she actually transfigured when she was on holiday in Loch Lomond. She fell in love with the merman, and parents forbade to marry him. She transfigured herself into a haddock, swam away, and was never seen again. It really makes the card we just got then, number 45 Dunbar Oglethorpe, Chief of Quabble, look pretty mild by comparison, but they're both the best cards. Down over here, we're going to Hagrid's hut to talk about it. See, Lucius Malfoy has sent Hagrid to Azkaban and has fired Dumbledore, but Hagrid gives us one last piece of advice: to follow the spiders to find out what we need to know. But first we're going to double back to grab number 61 Havelock Sweetsing, a famous unicorn expert who helped establish many unicorn reservations throughout Britain. The best card. I've got great news, everybody. We only have 2 silver cards left. We'll find them in the Forbidden Forest, and the first one we'll find almost right away, actually. Through here, Ron gives us excuses to not follow us. We'll cast Lumos, a permanent Lumos that'll never go away, and lower this log so we can actually have a place to go. Casting for Pendo on that secret to open it before she lands there. She takes the right to open the chest that grabs number 16. Cleodine, Iris Druidus, who discovered the magical properties of Moondew, the best card. Jumping backwards to spongify across instead of having to go up and lower a second log, we find a giant venomous tentacula, which we haven't actually seen in this game. We see a few of them in the first one, in the Hobology, in the Incendio challenge, but not in this one. This bridge usually jumps out on us, but if we jump across on it, it won't lower, and we can actually save a bunch of time. A couple of spiders and a couple of spider webs in our way. We're going to tank some shots by dropping straight down, just like that, and going straight back up to grab. Luckily, we have no fall damage. Going straight back up to grab number 57, Gifford Ollerton, famous Giant Slayer, the best card. Casting Spongify there, skipping all these platforms just to hit the ground level. Cast the Findo here, and this is the room where we'll find our last silver wizard card, everybody. The strategy is to kill all the spiders you see here. And I used to think it was to get rid of all the spider webs, but it's just the spiders. Cast here, cast there, secret open, chest open for later. Here we'll have number 65, Gondolin Oliphant, the Timothy Treadwell of the Harry Potter universe, who was famous for research into trolls and all their in the natural habitats, and was clubbed to death while sketching some in the Cotswolds. The best card. Up here we'll grab number 25, Inventor of the Lunarscope, number 25, Perpetua Fancourt, the best card, and that's only 2 cards remain in this Forbidden Forest area, actually. There's some imp, he tries to take a chump out of us, we just ignore him completely. The imps have a weird run, like they're leaning back as much as they can. There's a couple of beefy spiders, we have to cast Rick Semper at them twice to take out. We also can just move around them because they're very slow. He has a couple of giant bow truckle, which is as big as a 12-year-old person. Taking them out, we can safely ignore them. We got plenty of health. But we can't ignore that spider web because we have to grab the card that's behind it. Up this little Spongify area, we can open that to grab number 86, Dorcas Well Beloved, founder for the Society for Distressed Witches, the best card. Going past this huge patch of Horcrux, usually you can release a gnome hidden in that chest to actually eat all the Horcrux and give you loads of beans, but it just takes too long to be worth it, even in a casual game, when you have dueling available anyway. Here's number 19, Newt Scamander, famous magical zoologist and author of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the best card, and the last card of this area as we encounter Hagrid's pet giant spider, Aragog, now all grown up, who reveals he's not the monster of the Chamber of Secrets. Hagrid didn't open the Chamber of Secrets, but he's not going to let us live. He's gonna not going out letting us live without a fight, especially because now he wants to eat us. But luckily his boss is pretty simple. Just spam Rick December, the second useful thing that Lockhart taught us. After this easy fight, we're actually going to be rescued by Ron from the Forbidden Forest, who reveals to us that Hermione has been petrified too. So we're going to visit her in the hospital room on the 4th floor, where we will actually discover Using her research and whatever she found out, we'll figure out where the Chamber of Secrets is, and what the monster within the chamber is, who's going around attacking people. Let's see, Aragog doesn't really have much tricks to its sleeve. Attack you, spit some web at you, and there he is, dead and dying, except canonically no, he lives until the book. Oops, spoilers, sorry everybody. But now we're on the 4th floor, we're going to see Hermione, and we're going to reveal everything I just said, but on top of that, we're going to find that now another attack has occurred. Ginny Weasley has been taken into the Chamber of Secrets. Hogwarts will surely close now. We've got to go and rescue her, but first, we've got to finish our card collection, because we've got 4 silver keys, we can open this area of the game, and now we can go collect the 11 gold cards, almost finishing our collection. The cool thing about the gold cards, however, is that when you collect one, these curtains to our right will pull back and reveal a giant, slightly animated version of them. It's really nifty. Of course, I don't agree with certain cards being gold, but I didn't develop this game. If I did, I'd have 100 cards instead of 100. I'm sure you can guess which one I'd exclude. Let's see, this is the gold card challenge. I know an ambush, but not really, because we can grab number 69, Bertie Bott, inventor of Bertie Bott's Every Flavoured Beans, the best card. I've always said that after playing like a regular AWC where we can use glitches and stuff, watching the sequence done almost casually feels like, like you have an itch to scratch, because usually we just brightness boost all the way up there and grab number 101, Albus Dumbledore, famous Headmaster of Hogwarts, the best card. Down here we'll go into a room with a platform that raises the closer you get to it, so you have to climb up these areas on the side to be able to get to the same height and actually collect number 41, Godric Gryffindor, co-founder of Hogwarts, who gave one of his name to the 4 Hogwarts houses, the best card. Here soon we'll Pepper the Foul Percent, a meme run I've invented on Nixo's channel, would have ended because we're going to grab number 11, Herper the Foul, first known creator of the Basilisk, the best card, and soon number 48, Salazar Slytherin, co-founder of Hogwarts, who gave his name to one of the 4 Hogwarts houses, and no relevant card will be collected at any moment in the future.
Hey, this is Helga Hufflepuff.
She's
a founder. I like her. She's Welsh. She is Welsh. Did you know that?
Sorry about that, everybody. Sorry about that.
You had to know it was coming.
Sorry, I just felt an overwhelming level of sickness, but now I feel much better as we grab number 74, Montague Nicely, a famous wizard chess champion, the best card. Opening the store, there's a bit of a puzzle area, I want to say. Not really though, because we found we can just jump. How do we get higher? Just jump. There we go. All the way up to the top. A bit of a strat where we go on this little flipendo block, then double back so we can reach the platform. And there we have number 15, Paracelsus, contemporary of Leonardo da Vinci, who discovered Parseltongue. And number 41, Carlotta Pinkstone, famous campaigner against the magical statute of secrecy, the best cards. In this room, we have to push these blocks forward, which will raise other blocks which we can climb onto upwards. And using these little leverage we gain, we can actually grab number 82, Rowena Ravenclaw, co-founder of Hogwarts, who gave one of her name to the 4 Hogwarts houses, the best card. One card remains in the gold challenge, ladies and gentlemen. We get a few little Spongify jumps here and there just to be able to get them. Here we go, up, 1 for the money, 2 for the show, casting Spongify early, 3 to get ready, and 4 to go. And grab number 100, Harry Potter, the boy who lived, the best card. Well, that's it for the gold cards, everybody. Now we can get back to the plot and go back to rescuing Ginny Weasley. Where is the Chamber of Secrets? In Moaning Myrtle's bathroom.
Oh, that's here.
In Moaning Myrtle's bathroom, not on the 3rd floor or anywhere else, but in Moaning Myrtle's bathroom. And we were just showing you where we could have gone. Where we have to go, however, before is get to, it's a Flitwick's Charms class as we grab number 31, Balfour Blaine. Famous for being the chief of the Committee for Experimental Charms, the best card. And that's 99 cards out of 101. We're going to go, we're so close to finishing the collection. We're going to the center of the Chamber of Secrets. Lucille's going to get right up and personal with the sinks there. And hopefully,
all right, can I interrupt for a second?
Yes, you can.
All right. Hello, everyone. This is June. I will be hosting this morning for the upcoming games. We did have one recent donation from Linux 86.
Yeah, I called that one out. You don't have to worry.
Oh, you did? You read all of
Yeah.
it? Oh, okay,
Love
great.
that one, yeah.
You're like hosting and commentating. Good job.
Yeah, that's a
know.
first try Scourge Snipe.
Alright,
Everyone
you'll
clap.
hear more
Oh
from
my
me
goodness.
later then.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I completely missed the first try Scourge Snipe. The problem is she makes it look so easy, but that is not an easy trick to pull off, especially on the first go. Neither was that, just jumping across the little gap like that either. This is a very good start for Chamber, let me tell you. Now we have to do a little bit of a trickier trick called Pixie Proxy. You're going to stun a pixie and spongify into them, hopefully. Just like this. Oh, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. That was wonderful. Look at that, everybody. That's how it's done.
Hitting
This
that
is
rope
the
fast,
run.
by the way, is better than Dry Storage 3.
Better than Dry Storage 3, everybody. And now it's another ambush, but not for us. I think this is the most difficult room in the game, I want to say, because these fire crabs fire fast and often at you. And when you get one into their little pit, they sort of reset. I mean, look at that. They're really going rapid fire on you. It makes sense because this is the end of the last major area of the game, but it's still a very easy part of the game. There you go, jumping across here. We have to jump across this unfinished bridge. Don't worry, we're nearly there. As we spongify up further into a little cage, she's going to turn to face whichever direction she was meant going through. You know, not the direction she came from, but wherever she was going. That way, we're facing directly where we need to go. If that makes sense. Like here. Instead of facing the wall, we're facing the way forward. So these two giant orange snails, there's a third one just nearby. But we're going to open this secret Lumos gargoyle for us, cast Defendo on this one piece of rope so that we can actually lower our platform a little bit of the way. And there we go. Cast Lumos here, open it up, reveal this secret, hop on up here to grab number 91, Elphic. First person to be gorged by an African Urumphit, the best card. For those people who don't know what a Urumphit is, but for those who've also seen the Fantastic Beasts and where to find them, a Urumphit is that giant rhino thing that was chasing them through the park. The best card. Over here we have a bit of an Indiana Jones ripoff as Harry's running away from Boulder with vines in his way. Bit of an action sequence, might as well. Don't know how Ginny made it all the way down here, but I don't know, just maybe, I don't know, she's possessed by Voldemort at this point. I'm not too sure what the technical details of all that were, just accept she's in the chamber now. Here's a pendulum that we first have to cast. Now, you may think we missed an opportunity by letting it swing away from us, but it has to happen. We have to wait for it to crush that door open, jump back on it, and let it swing past. Off we go into the loading zone, and into actual Chamber of Secrets. You see there's going to be massive...
That was a 25-second gold.
Oh, gold again. Woo. Gold again. Woo! And here we have the actual face from the movie. You may be very annoyed the save book doesn't line up with the center of the face, but here it is, the Basilisk, the monster of the Chamber of Secrets. And the way to fight him is to move to the back of the arena, so it has to do that venom-spitting attack, which is a lot slower than its close-up melee attack. That way you can charge up hit after hit with the magic sword of Godric Gryffindor to lower its health and get a very good first phase. You're going to dart over to the left here, wait for it to climb out of events. As it gets out, we jump and smack it. It sprint, writhes in pain, smack it a second time, and it's going to go back into its vents, opening this other one to our left. Charge it up, Lucille, she gets it, she hits it, it writhes in pain, she hits it a second time, it ducks back down. And we have 100 of 101 cards, by the way, because this boss is not a challenge, especially not to Lucille. Look at him. That's it, everybody. The Basilisk is dead. Things are over. All we have to do now is one Spongify, one jump, one alignment, and a final Hess as we grab number 29, Archibald Alderton, famous for blowing up a small town while trying to magically mix a birthday cake, the best card, and 101 out of 101 cards, everybody. She's done it. And here we go, coming up on time.
Time.
That's it, everybody. We've got it. We did it.
This is
That everybody was-
1:15:34.
Is
That is a fast
PB?
run. That is a huge PB. That is
It's a huge PB,
by
everyone.
73 seconds, and that's compared to a run I didn't even submit.
Holy moly ravioli, that was terrific. Ah. There we go, everybody. That was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, all wizard cards percent. Actually, yeah, this is a good opportunity now. Let's show off some cards, actually. Let me go
show
to
off the
Carlotta
numbers.
Pinkstone, the gold number. Let's see.
Oh yeah, this one. This one's
There you go.
animated.
She has the second best artwork, I reckon. Look at that, moves around. Here's a lady who was sent to jail for using magic in public, and there she is in shackles, still using magic defiantly. It's good artwork, I reckon. But can you show him number 60, Laverne de Montmorency? 10th silver card you got. There you go. Look at that. Inventor of many beautifying potions. Look at her. You see, she's like this ugly green-skinned hag of a woman, but in the fumes of her love potions, she's like this beautiful, blonde-haired, blue-eyed lady. That's some cool art too, you know. And thanks to your PB, we are now ahead of schedule. Actually,
Yeah, that was fast.
that was very quick. Better than practice. Better than everything. She really. You know, a round of applause for Lucille, everybody. She really came out today and really performed well. That's a PB in a marathon. You know, usually you feel you just have nothing but nerves and you keep choking or anything. Not Lucy at all. Outstanding.
All right.
Let me
well,
spam something. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and congratulations again on the PB. That is awesome. I've been asleep, so I don't know if is that the first PB we got on Potterthon this year, or has other people PB'd?
I'm not too sure. We'll have to double check.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Stuff.
haven't watched the whole thing.
Yeah, maybe someone in chat knows, but that's crazy. And then the upcoming run, because now we know that Flo is awake. The upcoming run will be Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 PC. Any % new game plus. So stick around for that. It's going to be great. It's the world record holder versus second place. So it's going to be a race that's worth watching.
Tremendous.
And hopefully it won't be PowerPoint %, as you get to see more. No, it was 7.1 that was PowerPoint %. Nice. Right, well, stick around.
Any last words, Lucille?
Oh, shout out to the lovely community. Everyone's really friendly and nice here. I've only been running this game for less than 6 months, and I'm just impressed at all the information and stuff. Particular shout out to Emmy, who has been so very helpful. She has taught me everything. If I'm good at this game, it's her fault.
Exceptional. Same from me. Shout outs to the wonderful HP speedrunning community, especially to you, Sammy Speedruns, stealing my name and living there. Just to let you know, tes jours sont comptés. But other than that, you're all wonderful.
For the great run and the great commentary as well by Sammy. So just a reminder for anyone popping in this morning, we are Potterthon, a yearly Harry Potter based speedrunning event, and we are raising money for charity. This year we chose the Trevor Project. This is actually chosen by the community as well. It is a non-profit organization focused on suicide prevention efforts amongst the LGBTQ plus youth, and it operates the Trevor Lifeline, a toll-free hotline, Trevor Text, a 24/7 text service, and Trevor Chat, a secure online messaging service, and Trevor Space, an online networking community, all of which are confidential services that offer trained counselors for the youth, as well as to offer guidance and resources to parents and educators in order to foster safe, accepting, and inclusive environments for all youth at home and at school. So it's a great cause to support if you want to donate towards that. And also, anyone who are watching, now you also know about those resources, and we are really happy and proud to support that. So if you do want to donate, it is !donate in the chat, which will give you the link. I will be here this morning to read out all the different donations. We also do have some incentives that you can try to reach that will infect some of the future speedruns, like HP2 PC. We almost have all 3 potion skips reached. And I will be back with you soon.